Hello guys, I'm Shane with Oasis Home Buyers. I'm here with Trina, one of our lovely sellers that we got to help out recently. We wanted to get together and talk a little bit about how things went along the way. So Trina, obviously we had a very extensive conversation. Tell us a little bit about how you first found out who we were.
I was searching what is the quickest way to get your home sold without all the hassle, basically. And, you know, and nothing wrong with realtors or anything like that, but you know, the muss and fuss that you go through when you're dealing with that, and closing cost, realtor cost, this cost, that cost. And just a quick nutshell, my husband passed, or fiance, back in 2018, and we'd found our forever place. We were from Plain City, moved down to Chillicothe, get more bang for your buck. And we found out he had cancer. He was gone months later. So found my journey back in Plain City. Our mother passed last year, and it's just been devastating to my sister and I. And we're like, okay, we're not moving on here. So we're like, how can we do this without going through all the hassle? And I started Googling everything. This name popped up, that name popped up. I put a few calls out, no return phone calls. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to call Oasis. There was just something truly pinging at me. There was no callback. There was a live answer. And I'm like, here we go. So I spoke with you.
Yeah.
And we got the ball rolling very quickly. And what was impressive was, you know, everything was thorough. Everything had come together quickly. And it was like, okay, do you want this many days, that many days? And how everything quickly came together was impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't think it could be done like that.
It's a shocker to a lot of people sometimes. And first off, I do appreciate, I told you this before, I do appreciate you sharing all of those things with me. I know that can sometimes be difficult to talk about, but it definitely does make things to where, you know, if I know exactly what needs to be done, I can try and help gather the resources to get it done for you. I know we were on a pretty tight timeline, and we did pull a few extra strings to make sure that it got to that point. And just glad that I was the one to be able to pick up that day. Everything happens for a reason. So I am glad that we were able to get on the phone that day. And obviously this has turned into much, much more. And now you're going to be able to get to that next phase of life. And I'm just super excited that I was able to help you get there.
And I'm super excited as well. And might I add, it was on a Friday, late in the afternoon. I believe it was after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, on a Friday, late, someone answered, and we're rolling.
Yep.
And I think everything happened pretty much that day.
Yeah. I wish I could tell you I clock out, but I do not.
Do you stay there?
Yep. So it is. We're here to help when you need it. There's a lot of things that can happen at a moment's notice. So, if there is a time in the day, as long as we have somebody free, our phone pretty much never goes to voicemail. If it does, it's probably a holiday. But even on some of those, we'll pick up. But nonetheless, time is not ever of the essence. We've had calls taken at 2 a.m. sometimes. They're quick ones because obviously, you're probably asleep and, you want to get back to bed. But they get pushed off into the morning, and then we're there to help anytime that we need it. So,
And it was, very much so.
Obviously, we know there was a bunch of bad circumstances that led to this point. I know that we did have a tight timeline that we needed to get things done on. So, what really emphasized the importance of things getting done speedy for you?
Basically, losing our mom, being a very tight-knit family, and we were tight siblings, tight cousins, tight aunts and uncles. Losing our mom is still very painful.
Yeah.
But when my sister and I sat down and talked as to what did we think was keeping our grief just at a standstill, and we were like, it's where we're living, and not in terms of the place itself as far as the mobile home park. It's this is mom. This is where mom was. So it was smacking us in the face every day. And although we had the most wonderful, wonderful memories, the pain of us knowing that we should all be there, but one's missing was just too painful for us. And sorry.
Hey, that's okay.
And we're huge believers in God. We put it in God's hands and said, you know what, lead us. So he got our ball rolling and we started down our path, and that's what got me into looking things up. And but it's painful when you love so deeply, and when you're unable to heal because of circumstance or location. The location was a nice place to live, both where we were, our places were nice places, but the memories were just knowing that when we walked through certain doors, that certain person that should have been there wasn't, and that's painful. So we, like I said, we prayed about it, and getting out of there, just knowing that we're getting out of there, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
And you're leaving it behind, but knowing that you're, just the thoughts of leaving the pain behind and looking at the sunshine and the silver lining that's ahead
Yeah.
already took that curtain of dark cloud away, seeing that, everything works for the good of those who love God, and I believe that very wholeheartedly, and that's where it's led.
Absolutely.
And it led us here, and from here is leading us to where we're supposed to be going, to our next
100%.
phase of life. So,
And, I mean, there's definitely the grief factor, like you said, that can be a reminder there. But the best part about memories is you can take the good ones with you.
That's right.
So, the location is not something that is going to prevent you from bringing all the good times with you as well. And, I've been very, very glad that we were able to help you take that next step further. And, the good memories are still to be made. There's still a whole lot of time to make more and bring the old ones with you. And hopefully, like you said, with the dark cloud not being there anymore, it'll take some time. Grief does not have a clock. It doesn't have a calendar. So it can sneak up on you. But, it makes me happy to know that you are going to be in a position that you can take the good ones with you and continue to make good ones after that.
absolutely.
And I mean that. I truly do. Like So obviously we know now we are officially getting closed on everything. This is now going to be done after today. So, what does the next phase of life look like for you?
Looks sunny. It's been an absolute joy working with you, Leila, Morgan, Ashley, and there's probably been a couple other names I can't remember right off top, but just you guys are a very unified team, which is different because you don't see people. It's like you can line 20 people up and ask them the same question, but you're going to get 20 different answers.
Yeah.
Not here, you didn't. Everybody was intact with each other, and that was comforting. It was reassuring, and it really, from the bottom of my heart, when I say it was a joy to work with you guys, it was a joy. There was things that was painful. There was things that was bumps in the roads, but not due to the fact of anything to do with this team, just how certain things go sometimes. But you guys were reassuring. You guys went to bat. You guys did you went beyond doing what you could. And I'm one of those people, I don't see the end result. I see what the person did, whether it came out in my favor or not. I'm not saying that there was unfavorable things, but I'm saying to see the kind of lengths that this team goes through, that's impressive. And you guys should be out on the map like worldwide now. Because this kind of experience, especially when you're in pain, emotionally, and just the comfort that you guys bring with your expertise, the way you guys deal with things, it's, I don't have a good word. I don't have a good enough word to describe that, to say It's impressive, it's reassuring, it's comforting.
Yeah.
And it just, everybody knows that's ever moved, sold a house, bought a house, or had to do both at the same time. It's stressful. And you guys took a lot of that stress out just being on top of things. You guys, when there was questions to be asked, I called several Saturdays with questions. If somebody didn't pick up, I was called back in 5 minutes, 10 at the most. That's impressive. So,
Well, very glad that we were able to answer any of those questions. I mean, like you said, it can definitely be stressful, and to pair that with the loss of loved ones, and just not really probably even wanting to deal with something like that at the time. Really happy that we were able to step in, and the first step was made by you. We can't take any of that credit away from you. I mean, taking the first step is the most important one, and just giving us the opportunity to help you. We appreciate that more than you know here. We are definitely close-knit in the office. There's a lot of, it almost feels sibling-like because we can give each other a hard time, but we also always make sure that we're there for each other. And it's just like you said, I mean, if there is slack to be picked up, everybody knows what's going on. And in order to make a train work the right way, every cart has to be doing their job. So I'm very happy to hear that it wasn't something that was filled with hiccups or confusion for you. And biggest thing for me, if you ever ask me a question and I don't know it, I'm just going to hey, hang on, don't know it, be back for you in like 5 minutes and we can get that figured out for you. But thankfully, that is not something that needed to happen, and we could help get you to this point now. And I mean, I see the closing right there. So it's going to happen today, and I'm really happy that you were also able to make it in and we can meet you. That's one of the parts that is a little bittersweet. You don't always get to meet the person that you talk to and help. And I mean, I get pretty emotionally invested in these things sometimes. So I like knowing that things went well, and I like knowing that the next step is there for you. And I played somewhat of a part in getting you to that portion. So, I mean, I'm super grateful that you were able to make it in today so that we could not only do this, but also just meet face to face and, put a face to the voice, yes. I should say. Yes.
And it's been a quality journey, and it's most appreciated. Again, and if I had a word, a well-oiled machine, your guys' team. And I'm not one to say things that I don't mean. If I don't have something to say, I just don't say it.
Absolutely.
So, and Mama always said too, you have nothing nice to say, just don't say nothing at all. So, but in this case, not only does something need to be said, but something that really pings on the quality of this company, the quality of its team, and its unification. Mm-hmm. And again, I mean, that's important. It's important for things to run smooth when something's already stressful. Yeah. But when you already know that this is one, stressful thing, and you've got a company that's knowledgeable, unified, like, I've already said, it's a big comfort. So thank you guys, all of you, for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're welcome. But thank you for thanking us. Thank you for choosing us to help you. But most of all, just happy that we could.